and thanks for joining us. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kerry Hallard and I'm the Chief Exec of the GSA. And just going to give you a quick whistle-stop tour through our awards programs. So we're running a few of these friendly, intimate sessions that will enable you to ask any questions you want to ask on how to maximise your opportunities at GSA Awards. So please do put your digital hands up if you've got any questions, and we'll make it fully interactive. So without further ado, I'm going to go into a screen share and just bring it up the awards pack so you can see. And I'll guide you through the information in that and then actually add some additional information to it. So bear with me 1 minute and I hopefully will perfectly share screen even. Now, Abby, tell me if I got that on full display. Is that all okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, great. So the GSA has been running awards now for 20 years, and we run two very distinct types of awards. In fact, we run three. So the first awards that we set up were what we term the GSA UK Corporate Awards, and that really looks at the companies in our industry and the major projects that have been delivered in our industry. And then we realised 13 years ago that we really ought to be not celebrating the companies, but celebrating the people and the teams that deliver these fantastic projects and make these phenomenal companies. So 13 years ago, we launched the Professional Awards, and obviously it's the Professional Awards that are open at the moment. So our awards programs have got two very different feels about them, very corporate awards and very individual, personal and people awards. I did mention a third category, and since I have mentioned that, I will detail that very briefly, and that is our global awards. And every other year we run a global awards program in a destination of choice. So 2016 we were in Sofia in Bulgaria. 2018 we were in Cape Town, South Africa. Unfortunately, a bit like the Euros 2020, the Global Awards 2020 have not yet happened as we're waiting for the pandemic to properly die down, and then we'll be looking at Global Awards, and that's really looking at the global programs and the global organisations in our industry. But today we are absolutely focused on the Professional Awards. So let me take you through the pack. So lots of great reasons to participate. Obviously, you know, it's really, we've got some videos and we'll share those with you later, but you know, the thrill of organisations, individuals, teams when they actually win an award is obviously significant. So it's a great way of, you know, making your team feel recognised and rewarded for the great work that they do when they're put forward, nominated for awards, even if they don't obviously win. If just making the shortlisted is a great motivational feel, but obviously in addition to that, you get all the great brand profile that actually goes with a GSA award win. So just talking you through the stages, we've tried to make the stages as simple as possible. The forms are really easy Google forms, so it should be really, really straightforward to type into. So yeah, just putting forward an application, one single application form saying all the different awards that you wish to enter. Now, we do charge a fee for applying for the GSA Awards, but it's one fee no matter how many different submissions you put forward. So you can put forward a couple of submissions in any given category, or you can put forward a submission in every single category we've got. It's entirely up to you as to where you think you've got some great best practice and you want to be recognised. So it's one fee, and the reason why we charge a fee, in addition to help a little bit with the administrative overheads, is because you also get a ticket to the awards. And for us, it's really important that if somebody wins an award, there's somebody in the room to collect that award. So you've got your dinner, for your gala dinner ticket is included in that price. And the price is £299 plus VAT for members of the GSA and £349 plus VAT for non-members. So as I say, it is for however many submissions you want within that one fee. And we're absolutely delighted. We have everything crossed that it will be a Black Tie Gala Awards due this September. So we're planning, no, this October. So planning the award ceremony to be an in-person, but probably mixed hybrid and live events on the 14th of October. So yes, you put your application in on a Google form, and then you put your award submission in. Now, what we've changed with this year's awards is every single award category is now going to go towards live judging. So the submission that you write is significantly shorter than submissions you might have written in previous years. So we're bringing the number of word count down to 500 words, just to make it really, really easy to submit for the awards. What that does mean, though, is that there will be, for every organisation that's shortlisted, there will be a follow-up live judging session. So the live judging is a 35-minute slot where you can either be physically in the room with our judges, or you can be virtually presenting to our judges via all of the fantastic Teams facilities, or Zoom if you prefer, that we've now got. So that live judging, as I say, it's 35 minutes, but we recommend that you use 20 minutes of that for presenting, and that leaves 15 minutes for the judges' Q&A. Now, what we do is we set a timer. We tell you exactly when you're starting, obviously. And we also tell you when you're at the 20-minute mark. Now, you can go past 20 minutes, you can go all the way through to 35 minutes of presentation, but our recommendation is that you leave plenty of time for the Q&A. Right, so there's one additional thing that we ask you for at the time of submitting, and that is a synopsis. And the synopsis is what we want to publish in our awards pack, which gives you further visibility and brand opportunity to shine. That is a 250-word summary of your submission, and it's what you're willing to see go in the public domain. So we do fully recommend that when you do an award submission, you do name any clients, partners, individuals involved in your programme. Now, you can mark that information as being confidential and for judges' eyes only. And therefore, when you actually put the synopsis forward, you don't have to name your client if you're not able to. But we do recommend that you do name clients in your submissions. Then we do say if you've got some background material you want to put forward to further reinforce the great work that you've been doing, then by all means, please do put supporting materials forward. But those supporting materials are only actually looked at if we get into a bit of a deadlock, judges can't decide situation. So the judging process is really led on your 500-word synopsis to get through to shortlist, and then your live judging. But the supporting material could help you get through to shortlisting if it's a really difficult sort of judgment call for the judges to get down to a good shortlist. So we've got the timelines here. I'm not going to walk through the timelines, they're very clearly published. Apart from the first one is you've got until the 20th of August to actually get your submissions in. Now, I'm not going to say, I will say it because we do always do it. We always get asked if there's any possibility for an extension. And yes, usually we can afford, and there's time built in for a 1-week extension on deadlines if you're really tight on that. So Abby, is there anything else I should be saying on this bit so far?
No, I think that's it. You've covered everything on that.
Excellent. Right, so you all know what categories are open. Most of these categories we've had in for previous years, but there are 2 new categories and they're really focused up on a Startup Entrepreneur of the Year and Entrepreneurial Team of the Year. So 2 new categories, and you will see the judging criteria for those coming out shortly. So lots of lots of individual categories available and lots of team categories available. Right, so I will switch out of this and show you another slide in a second, but yeah, the wording is really, really short now. So we do recommend that you are really, really succinct in your submission and really think about the category titles that you need to fulfill against. So I think the key piece of advice for anybody filling in an award for us is to actually follow the headlines we've given you. So I'll come on to a judging sheet in a minute, but each of the award categories has got 4, usually 5 headlines, and it's really clearly demarked that perhaps for the strategic vision it's 10%, and perhaps for the benefits realisation it's usually around 40%. So there it's a really, really strong indicator that 10% of your effort and 10% of your word count should go to strategic vision, and 40% of your effort and word count should go into benefits realisation. So those headlines are there for a really clear reason, and the percentages for those for a really clear reason. And that is that when we ask the judges to judge, they have to put a mark of 0 to 5 under each of the headlines. So that is the way that the judges judge your submission. So there's no point putting 80% of your effort into something that's only ever going to give you 10% of the marks. As I say, I'll give you an overview of what a judging sheet looks like, very simple, but I might bring it to life in a second. So yes, really focus on the headlines and put your award submissions into those headlines. The bullet points underneath the headlines are for guidelines only. So you're just trying to sort of like, you know, be provocative with ideas of what could potentially go in there. But the headlines are what's really, really important. And then obviously, because the word count isn't high, you know, do think very much about ensuring that you tell your story across each of those headlines. What we see happen far too frequently is people put the same information in the strategy as they put in the benefits. You know, don't double up with the information. Make sure you've got really distinct information in each of the 4 or 5 headlines you're being marked on, and that will really maximize your opportunities to get the highest possible marks. Do you use bullet points and do you use tables? The word count in tables and infographics do not actually count. So if you're really struggling on getting everything in within the 500 words, drop in an image, which the judges will look at, absolutely, but they don't actually impact your word count. So it's quite a cool way of getting more information across. Sounds ridiculous, but do write it in really good English. We obviously get a lot of international submissions, and if it's difficult to read because the English is really sort of quite poor, it does distract the judges, I think. So, you know, trying to make it as clear and concise and really good English is really, really important. And then further to that, what was I going to say? I can't remember what I was going to say. Make it really good English, yep. Oh, further to that, yeah, get somebody outside of the project to review the submission. So when you're actually living and breathing the award submission, and if you've been living and breathing the project as well, it then can be quite difficult to understand whether you've communicated the real breadth of the project, the teamwork, the individual's progress, you know, whichever category you're going for. It really does help if you've got sort of like fresh eyes from an outside perspective looking in on that. So key piece of advice is do please get somebody external to review the content for you. Okay. Any questions so far? I can't see with my screen as to whether any digital hands are up, but Abby, if you can, do shout and let me know.
No hands up at the moment.
No hands up, excellent, cool. Sorry, I've just done something on my screen that's stopping me doing page down. Well done me. I shall try and get rid of. Yes, why does that do that? Okay, that's working again. So I think I've gone through this. This is just further background just to reinforce what I've actually already said. And there's a brief checklist in the pack for you as well. So the pack then goes on to give you the categories, the guidelines and the criteria that we're looking for each of the awards that we've got. So this then brings you back to what I said before, is we've got 5 headlines that we really want you to focus your content under. So for example, here for Rising Star of the Year, it is looking at, you know, what is your approach to best practice? What are the benefits you have brought to your organisation? What future promise do you show for the industry? Why you? And testimonials. If we ask for testimonials, it really, really adds so much value. If you can bring, especially at the time of live judging, if you can bring a manager in with you, or a member of the team in with you, or a customer in with you, or a partner, or even a couple of these different people that you give the stage to, and give them the opportunity to really reinforce why you or your team or your project should win one of these awards. So testimonials, if they can be, you know, additional people, not necessarily external to your firm, but additional people come on in, is really, really beneficial. So please do that. Right, I'm going to stop sharing this screen, and I'm just going to show you a judges screen as well now, I hope. Just to bring that to life. There we go. Let me get my Excel spreadsheet up now. This is where I can't see an Excel spreadsheet. Excellent. Bear with me. There we go. I've got a habit of double clipping on this new share screen thing, and then I end up showing something completely different to what I meant. So is that coming up?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so this is just how simple it is, but it does give, hopefully helps bring it to life as to how you will be judged. So the judges are asked, you know, you can imagine that all of the companies that have actually submitted for that award are in the left-hand column. And this is the criteria that they're marking for the category of excellence in relationship management. So they will be asked to put a mark from 0 to 5 on how well they think you've delivered across each of those headlines. So obviously, if you get a 5 for vision and strategy, that is brilliant. Obviously, but that will give you 10% of your overall mark. Now, if you were only to score something like 2 in benefits realization, then they work out that you've got 2 marks towards 40%. So that actually ends up with a much lower percentage. So that's why it's really, really important to look at where these percentages are, and getting, you know, you can't get more than a mark of 5. So no matter how much information and content you put in vision and strategy, you can only ever get to 10% of the overall mark. So really, really important to focus on the ones that have got higher, or put more focus on the ones that have got higher scores in. But that said, don't put it all just into benefits realization, because then you're missing the opportunity to lose the 10% of the marks on vision and strategy, or the 10% of the marks on the team. So this is the way that the judges are presented with your information, both to get you to shortlist and both for the live judging.